Hi there, folks. Simon here. Welcome back to the Dragon Cup of 2023. This is a fantastic tournament. We've seen some phenomenal games so far. This is the quarterfinals between archvenison and alion02. And we have seen so far the two games, actually, that were played by Climace and Pluto the Brave, and Pluto the Brave ended up going on to the semifinals after two games. They did draw their first one, and then we've got me versus Abyss happened, which I did not record, but Abyss did win, as pretty much anyone could have guessed that. So that didn't happen. That didn't work out for me, but he did move on to the semifinals as well, and they will be playing together, Pluto the Brave versus Abyss. And then we've got now archvenison and alion02, and then the other matchup is someone else. Not that. It is rabbitboy84 and Will, so that'll be a fun match for sure. So we can see the how this bracket has turned out here. We did see Abyss and Pluto coming out on top there. And then alion02 and archvenison will play. alion02 is the favorite to win this one. He is the TAC champion. So we'll see how that goes. Will and Alion have an interesting friendship / rivalry. So if Will wins, that'll be a fun match to watch for sure. And yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff here. So we're going to watch some pretty high quality games here from archvenison and alion02. And these games are played on a 15-minute clock with a 15-second increment. And at turn 35, they get 15 minutes added to their clock. Also, we are playing these games with 2 komi, meaning that black gets 2 added to their flat count score if the game does not end in a road. So, there's that. But I guess without any further ado whatsoever, we'll jump in to game 1, or actually it's a 1-game match. So, the game between archvenison and alion02. We see some chatter here off to the side. It's because Discord decided to just break for some reason. And so I was going to have Will and Tones in the commentary box with me, 2 very high level players, which would have been great to have, but Discord died. So weird stuff. We'll figure that out. Maybe we'll try a Google Meet thing if I can figure that out and try to get these guys in there. But in the meantime, I'd say we can go ahead and start this up and go for it. All right, and we do see that very first move here down in the corner in A1. And then the F6 going straight into that knight's opening there for alion02. Not going to go with the hug like some people might have expected, but does go for that knight's opening. And I think that's still pretty much considered the best opening here. there's a Google Meet link. We'll see if we do that or do something else here. Still taking a long time for archvenison to make a move here. Interesting. Very interesting. Not sure what's doing that. All right, we see C4. C4 coming out and then going straight for that F4 movement, playing towards that vertical line. Interesting that he play there, though. This is definitely an opening that alion02 has practiced before. And I believe I am joined by Will on the in the commentary booth.
Hello?
I am joined by
Hello? Does
Will.
this work?
It does work.
Amazing. All right.
So what do you think of this opening, this play at f4, Will?
This is very typical for the sort of new way to play the Knights opening. It was popularized when Willem, my bot, played it a lot. Then we did a bunch of essentially analysis into the opening within the community. And yeah, it turns out to be quite good. It allows you to play for both the horizontal and the vertical. Doesn't commit you to any particular direction, and yeah, it's quite easy to play because you just essentially always play f4 regardless of what your opponent plays. It's like a system. Do the sound levels
They're
sound
great.
good?
Yeah, you're
Or
great. But yeah,
nice.
that's interesting. I did not know. Like, it makes sense to play at f4 because it works for both the threats, the vertical and the horizontal. It just makes sense that that would be a really good move. But it also feels like it kind of limits you a little bit and kind of commits you to that sort of play.
I mean, yes, playing a move does commit you to playing the move, but yes, it doesn't play in the center. It plays to the side, which is a bit weird, but it's also non-committal. Unlike if you play in the center, then you're obviously going for the horizontal. But if you play f4, connecting this like L shape almost, you you remain quite flexible. Like here, Alien can eventually pivot to the 5th rank and can play on d5 and c5. And then even if black like places a wall on e5, you can always play e6 to like commit to or to pivot to that horizontal thread. So it's quite a flexible opening, I think, and I enjoy playing it a lot.
Interesting. So
But
I'm assuming that you and Alion have gone over that yourselves, both of you.
probably independently, we only really studied the hug together. So, but I assume Alien has done a bit of preparation
For
uh,
sure, for
into
sure.
this opening. And it's not like Willem invented this, or maybe I would just say popularize it because
Yeah.
I think isn't
A lot of
Arch
people
the
were playing
person
this
who
one
came
as
up with
well.
the knights?
Yeah, the interesting thing to me was that we saw c4 be played in response to the e4 play. And that is not something that I'm super familiar with, but maybe Tones, who has just joined us in the call, has seen that before. Seeing the c4 played after the e4, but we do see alion02 does do what mediocre Taborlin suggested in the chat, that he plays down at e2, continuing that vertical line.
I think that is the idea. Until the capstone moves over, you're just focusing on this vertical, and then eventually you place your capstone on d3 after the black's capstone stops the attack. And I don't know, I feel like this opening will be quite predictable, and I don't see either color have too much of an advantage. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like they also recognize the opening is only really going in one direction and just play the moves immediately.
Yeah, they know
All
exactly
right,
what's going to happen.
I think I'm unmuted now.
Yes.
Tones here, by the way. Hello, everyone. Uh, I decided I had to join this voice call because heard you guys talking about this Willem's Knight pattern, and I just wanted to say I disagree. I don't like it. That's my contribution. Thank you. Goodbye.
Do you not like playing it, or do you dislike playing against it, or
No, I'm
what's
just
the?
kidding. I think it can be strong. I think you guys who've been working on this night's opening have proved it can be strong. It just seems very strange to me because now all of White's pieces are just trapped on the side of the board, and Black has this a bit more center control, a bit more road potential, even horizontally. Uh, yeah, I'm just a little bit skeptical, but also I think you guys have kind of proven that this opening can work, and I don't think Alion would be playing it if he didn't think there was some merit to it.
That does create an imbalance. That's true, but I think that also makes it more fun to play compared to a symmetrical opening where both players just play in the center, then one person places a capstone, the other one copies. That
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
true.
like those kinds of openings are a lot more, or a lot less interesting.
Hmm.
But maybe with more study into that, maybe I could find some fun lines. I haven't actually looked too much at those openings.
But now we see this vertical threat from Black coming up, and White doesn't really have an option here besides making a capture. I mean, they can drop a flat at C1, but that just delays the capture they need to make. Do you think it's going to
Yeah,
be a
like
capstone left or up, or do you think it's going to go for a flat somewhere?
I'm only considering three moves here, which is so capstone up would be the nicest to play, I feel, if it wasn't attack threat. But since it is attack threat, black can just immediately renew by placing on c5,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you have to move again. So it's a bit wasteful to move up here. Moving to
Well,
the
I mean,
left
Black
would
can't immediately
stop the.
play on C5 because White would be making attack threat.
Oh, actually, that's true. I missed that. Okay, then I like it.
Well, but
But
if the capstone moves up and then Black plays at D3 with like just places a flat at D3, that's also not too bad because it's a strong like horizontal
Yeah,
threat.
Black's going for a horizontal there if they play at D3, and keeps White from making that attack threat. So like it's I feel like going up is probably the wrong move. I think either that move that was just played or the capstone left was the right move to play here.
yes, yes. So that was what I was leading to. Like capstone left would also would stop the threat more effectively. But I also didn't like it because I feel like the capstone is actually ideally placed in this location,
Hmm.
blocking black's capstone from entering the game. Actually, this wall, I mean, you don't dislike it as white because it also blocks
And you
black's
can
capstone
smash
from
on
moving.
D4 when the wall comes over if they come
Yeah,
left.
exactly. So I feel like that wall, I mean, does stop the threat. I mean, it's probably the most effective way to stop the threat, but it's not a wall that you want to play. It's not as effective as it could be.
See, and now I was just talking about how like, oh man, I really don't like this White opening. They have no center control. But now like 5 moves later, okay, I would say I like White's position better now because they can just smash that wall stack and feel pretty good about this game.
Yeah, and then the smash happens, and then you've got not only the potential for that vertical that's still there, but also the potential for the horizontal up at the top, connecting up with C5, going all the way there to F5. Like, not a bad position, not a bad start for that horizontal threat as well. So I really like White's position here, and getting that wall to come left, like that just feels good to me for White being able to smash that. I am surprised that alion02 hasn't smashed that yet because that does feel like the obvious move. But then again, he's not me, so he
Yes.
doesn't play in 5 milliseconds.
What I think Alien is considering here is whether he can delay that, because I think the capstone is in like the perfect position right now. But and if you move it up, then you of course you leave the space empty for maybe black's capstone to move left in a few moves. But then like not smashing makes it all the worse. Okay, and that wall I don't really.
Yeah, the wall really hurts black, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the problem is it's not like it's a decent block for the vertical thing, but it also stops black's really only good threat, and it doesn't do anything about this horizontal threat that's happening up top.
Yeah, black's going to probably want to play at c6 here to be able to make some capture, make a threat in the vertical direction while cutting off white's horizontal.
I feel like black really needs to get its capstone both soon.
Capstone also
I
needs to
think
move, but can't
yeah,
throw that
that
capstone to e5
wall.
because that'll lead to a road for white.
Yeah. So this is really bad for black. Like I think black needs to commit another wall, like maybe on I don't know, b4 or something, capture up to get back some presence. But
I mean, the
yeah,
flat at
that's
c6 still works.
flat at c6, then a5, then what to do? d5 left,
Yeah, either d5 left, which
followed
feels better, or c6 minus.
followed by like filling in by white, whichever you play,
Yeah.
and still
Well,
black has
white
nothing.
wouldn't be able to fill
White
in
wants to
because
space.
that would be a road threat for black.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I think something like black places at c6, white makes the threat, black moves d5 left, or something like that. And
Then I
then
feel
what?
4 d4 left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then the
oh,
capstone
that's
would move left.
interesting. I was going to say that white could use like the spread, like just take two pieces off the top of that stack, but then black could take the wall and capture onto d4. So instead, yeah, I like that idea of taking the whole stack, 4 pieces from d4 left or up, whichever one is
Yeah, and if you take the whole
better.
thing, oh, he does drop that wall at b4, like you were saying. But yeah, the capstone can move fully left onto c4, and then be able to spread down for a lot more influence, a lot more flats, and just better all over. But right now, you kind of want to force that wall to go up and just play at a5.
Yeah, honestly, I like that wall. I think that's what I would have done. Like it
Ooh,
feels bad that black
b6.
had to play 2 walls in a row, but sometimes that's just the best play.
Now the b6 here, I'm trying to figure out why, and he could just be trying to set up for a continuation of this threat to be able to still make the vertical even when the wall comes up. But black's filled in here at c6, able to make a attack threat on the following turn. Really interesting turn of events. Now, I'm looking at a few options here, and I kind of like bringing the whole stack up onto d5, but I'd probably want to just. Would you play the
I
whole
don't think
stack?
there's a need. I don't think
But
there's
it's
a need
more
to move right now.
fun. There's not a need, but it's more fun.
I mean, winning is fun, I think.
Okay, so because it's alion02, he won't play the more fun move. He'll probably make a flat placement at a6 or a5 or something like that.
A6 probably. But I can also see maybe a pivot like something like b3.
Simon,
Yeah.
I think you just need to see the joy, the fun of placing a flat. I think you're not really truly converted to the cult of flats
I
if you don't
coined
see
the
the joy
phrase
and the
more,
fun in
more
that.
flats, more better. All right?
Yeah, and
That's
now you
my
need
line.
to commit to that.
I do need that. I mean, I've been committed
Or
based on that video. But
otherwise, we here in the cult of flats are going to have to vote you out.
I get it. Flats are better. They're a strategically more sound move, and playing them will give you a better win rate. In situations like this, playing a flat will give you a better win rate, but it's
Okay,
I
okay,
don't
you can stay in the cult.
who needs a better win rate when you can have more interesting games?
People who want to win.
there you go. That would be the target market.
Yeah. I mean, I feel White is very comfortable in this position, so I don't think there's too much reason to think here. I think Alien is just being very sure he's not missing anything. Like you have to calculate what sort of capture you'll make after Black stack threat. And I think Alien was just making sure that it's always possible to stop it in a neat way, which doesn't leave any weaknesses. Now, Arch opted to capture with the wall instead of going with the attack threat, which I think is the right move.
Really
But I'm also not entirely sure.
interesting, though.
I think now just B4 or
Yeah, I think
yeah.
there's if you're looking for some way for White to force a road here, I don't think there's any good clean way to do that, but they don't have to. I think they're sitting in a good comfortable position. They can start building on some other threat, even if it's not the most exciting thing right away. For White, I think it's just a matter of cleanly converting this good position.
And I think that's most likely what Alion's going to do. He's going to place a flat at b4 and continue to just build out his positioning and get more flats on the board, get further up on flats, and just ride it out. Because he's playing for a flat win from the very beginning. If he's going to use road threats to do that, and if he makes a road on the way, then great, makes it shorter. But he's playing for a flat win from the beginning.
Yeah. I think there's still maybe if Black can get their capstone involved into the game, there's still a little bit of chance for them to make something happen. I see we have a guest in the playtech chat saying that Black is completely sunk. I'm not sure who that is, considering that Alien is currently playing. Usually he's the one who's being pessimistic in the
I was
playtech
thinking
chat.
the same thing. I was like, that guest sounds like Alion because he's the only one I know who would say something like that.
I think it's a stuck. I think it's interesting to think about like how would Black ever get out of this with a better position. I think
Well,
necessarily you have to move the wall out of the way and move your
yeah.
capstone inwards. But
I think you just have to think like you have to look like what's your advantage as Black, even if it's a tiny little thing. And I think the tiny little thing that Black has going for them is that White just has a couple of more black pieces under that capstone. Remember, like 5 moves ago, White made a flat-on-flat capture, and so there's that one captured black piece, and so Black has to find a way to maybe tempt Alien into revealing that, and then somehow take advantage of that. Of course, Alien's gonna make it as hard as possible to do that, maybe even impossible. But I think if you're Black, you got to think, like, what are your outs? What's the one way you could possibly complicate this game and maybe win?
yeah, I think if you are able to place like B2, B1, then you've got some threats along the horizontal that could force White to move their capstone, maybe create some vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there's enough time for this. Like you'll see Alion likely plays B4 and then maybe another move like A4 in after some random black move.
I mean,
And
Alion is
there
5 minutes
won't be
down.
I don't know, maybe he's getting food. Maybe his delivery arrived. I don't see what he's thinking about here.
Maybe
You
he's
know, there was a
considering
previous
throwing
game.
that capstone spreading upwards onto d5 and d6 for the threat.
That would be a fun idea. Air quotes fun.
And he goes for b2, and I think this particular spot is to stop Black from playing at b2, because b2 and b1 or b2 and a2 making that connection in the vertical and horizontal directions is really strong there, because then you can get, once that vertical threat is made, white's got to respond to that, but then black can take that d3 wall, bring it down, and suddenly make the horizontal threat. And so you've got a bunch of different options here for black if black were to play at b2, but white playing there really shuts that down.
Well, I don't know. Okay, this move. I was gonna say black can still do this, make the connection there, because they play c1. That's attack threat. White has to do something about it on top, and then black can play b1 and start reigniting their hopes for a horizontal road.
Yeah, I feel like the momentum
Yeah.
is in the
So I
wrong
think-
direction though with that.
I think here it's 4d4 left.
Yeah,
Surely.
that seems really strong.
4d4 left.
Yeah, bring the whole cap stack
Oh,
left.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
You cut off the vertical,
then-
but black's going to renew by placing at d4 by filling in.
Oh right, because of the smash.
Yep.
And then you would probably want to throw down towards c2, but then that leaves vulnerabilities on c3. So instead, Alion chooses to capture down with the flat, opening up the horizontal potential. Now
Very
this
interesting.
gives me ideas of like d3 left, which is not something I would ever play, but it is interesting. You know, d3 left, self smash. Probably not, because you will lose to a road, but d3
Oh.
left or capture up, get the wall out and into the game.
Okay, well now I think black's game plan is pretty clear. You want to get a piece onto c4 and then spread left to make a road. It's not necessarily game winning, but it's I think it's clearly the best plan that black has right now. And so probably to stop that, white will probably place at b4 so that black cannot play there. And then maybe black's wall comes down and they'll start sort of fighting over that threat there. That's my official prediction right now.
Yeah, white playing at b4 makes a lot of sense, both offensively and defensively. But if white plays there at b4 and the b5 wall comes down to capture to try and get onto c4 and make that happen, I'm not really sure that that's a good spot for white, because again, the cap can't smash a wall on c4 because it would lead to a road for black. So white would have to make that capture onto c2 with b2 most likely.
So do you think he shouldn't even play b4 right now in the first place?
I think he still should.
That'll happen. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that's a good reason not to play b4.
It is a good reason not to, but I still think he should. But the other option here is, instead of b4, to play at a2 or to play at f2 and go for this horizontal road, being able to throw c4 down onto c2 to make that threat there. Now here is where we see the wall come down as expected. Now, what does white do here? If they
Maybe
play
white just
somewhere
plays
else, then
b5?
that wall's coming left or coming right. If the wall comes right, white doesn't have to make the capture with b2. White could drop a wall on b4, but probably not great, because oh yeah, maybe that does work, but the
Oh, man,
b2
that would be
coming right
mean.
would allow white to smash without worrying about that vertical threat.
So maybe
Could also self capture, I think. Like still 4d4 left now.
Yeah, could do that.
You do have two avenues to recover the flat loss. I mean, it would create a ton of vulnerabilities, but maybe there's some tenuer potential at the top. There's only
I don't
I
think
don't
there's
know,
a
it's-
Tenuate potential at the top, no.
honestly, I think if I was white, maybe just place a wall here. Like,
Ooh,
oh,
goes
Leon
for the
that's a
seems to
threat.
threat.
think so.
Okay.
Leon seems to think so.
I think that's what I call a fun move for sure.
Yep. Makes the tack threat. Black's still likely going to capture over with that wall.
Oh, maybe black could throw up the capstone here.
Nope.
No, that doesn't work
That
because
leads
it's
to
a
a road.
But soon, like if they can defend this threat, pretty soon they're going to be able to bring the capstone up and
They have to bring the wall
take
from
advantage of those
D3 to
flats.
D2 first. The wall on D3
Yeah,
has to
so
go down to D2 in order to throw that cap up.
it's a question of can black even survive that long?
I think so. Black has 10 minutes to think, and white has 3. So you got a 7-minute buffer here. Black has a lot
True.
more time to think about these moves and figure a way out of something. White, when they're thinking about something, they are using up a ton of time. And so putting them in a very high, highly complex situation where they have to consider a bunch of variables and a bunch of different stack throws and things like that, that's going to make them burn that time down, and it's going to make things more chaotic and harder to keep up with as someone on lower time.
Okay, I think the likely line that we'll see here is 3 before right, so the wall moving right to stop the attack threat. Then probably 3d6 left to make another attack and also
Yeah.
defend. Then either a wall or flat on d6, probably a wall. Then likely b5 to make a or to renew.
Oh, you think that
The wall
that
comes down. Yeah, okay, maybe not.
no.
Well,
White's capstone on C6 would definitely smash the wall on
yeah,
C4
that's
to
right.
recover
Allowing
3 white flats.
I think that's why Alion is not afraid to make this move, is that
right.
if black jumps onto c4, that's going to be a huge stack of white stones.
And as Pluto
Even
pointed
though
out,
you
Alion's
allow,
got 3 minutes for the next 15 moves.
well, you also have increment, but
Yeah. You got the increment, but still.
well, 15 times 4, what is that? That's like
60?
an
You
oh
said
sorry,
15 times 4. I don't
15
know.
times 15. Yeah, I don't know why I said times 4. I meant
All right,
15
so he
times
does bring
15.
it over. This is the tack threat.
It's like 4 other extra minutes.
This is where
Okay, it's
White's
about to get
threatening the
crazy.
road and threatening to smash on C4.
Maybe black plays c5 right? I don't know if that's good. It's a little bit crazy because it lets white smash, but it also gets a good stack of black flats. I don't know.
No. I'm not sure if White smashes here. So I don't think you need to worry about the smash. You just need to worry about the threat, because I don't think the smash is that big of a deal. So yeah, I think a c5 right totally works here. Not only does it totally work, it's the only move besides the wall. Yeah, a wall at d6
I know
does
it
work,
was
but then you've got 3 walls, and that's going to hamper your own mobility.
I know this is my own idea, but I don't know if I like this c5 right. That's so risky. You asked for a fun game.
I did, and I'm getting it. This is more fun.
May you live in interesting times.
Oh, the ancient curse. The smash is still super viable here and very tempting. You just got to think about how you're going to spread those pieces and how you're going to distribute them. Just goes for the
Or not.
flat placement.
I mean,
You know what
it's
they
a free
say.
flat. Yeah, like it after stopping the threat, everything is still the same.
Okay, well now it must be a wall at d6, right?
If it is, black can spread that to the right, that d5 stack afterwards, potentially, and then cut off that horizontal pin on the capstone. Or that vertical pin on the capstone. And then black's capstone will be able to move again. We do see the
Goes
wall.
for it.
How's white going to respond?
Black has
Unless...
placed 3 walls.
Yeah, that's... That's tough on him. But when you're in a bind, you're in a
The
bind, and you
capstone
got to drop
is
those walls.
capstone. So limited by D3.
I mean, I'm not knocking walls. I think probably the number one mistake of most TAC players is not placing enough walls. But I will admit it feels a little bit rough in this position. If white places a flat at c5, I will lose my mind.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No, there's no way. Yeah, they capture.
Okay.
Which is
Okay.
what I was expecting. I was expecting a capture there.
You play another wall.
More walls, more better.
Or just get out of the way of the smash. Like
Okay, well there's no threat right now.
4c4 right.
Yeah, no threat from white currently. But
Okay, 4c4 right you don't want to do because after... Oh, actually no, you can't do it because it pins the capstone.
Like maybe just play b1 here.
I
has
think
black.
this is black's chance to move the
As
capstone
black.
or to move the wall away.
Yeah. The wall can move to the right, which would threaten the big stack on d5.
Oh, you mean the c4 wall?
Yeah.
And there it
No,
goes.
doesn't do that.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and this
I mean,
also
okay,
opens it
it's-
up so black can smash their own wall here.
I mean, the only thing that feels bad about this is that's like a +1 flat count move, and like if you have your own stack of pieces, usually you want to try to make like a +2 or a +3 move,
Well, now
but it does get you away from that smash.
Black can take d4 plus and capture onto the big stack at d5 before white runs away with it. But black's also opening it up so they can smash their wall on d3 and do some shenanigans over there, make that capstone in the game again and get it back in. And we see alion02
Oh,
down
I
below
love
1
that
minute on the
idea.
clock. Alion's going to have to play on increment for the next 12 turns.
And I feel like it's only going to get more complicated from here.
It's going to get very complicated. And where Alion was in a very dominant position, this time is going to be a real problem for him. He does run that stack away from the d4 flat, so black can't do that, which is a smart move, I'd say.
I mean, looking at it, it's still objectively a good position for white.
Yes, but black's
It's
in a much better position than
12.
they were before.
It's 12 to 7 plus 2. So, flat-wise, it's great. And there's no attack threats for black soon because of the walls.
I'm surprised he played a2 instead of b1 there. Oh
That's
wait,
because
no,
he's going
I'm
for the
not surprised.
horizontal.
No, he's going for
Horizontal
the
is faster.
throw.
Yeah, the horizontal down, capturing onto c2 with the c5 stack. Unless I think the capstone might be able to reach it as well. Yeah, the capstone can
with the
reach it
cap-
too.
Either one. That's tricky.
But it'll be very obvious that that's what he's going for once he plays at f2.
Yeah, I mean, just because you want to play at f2 anyway.
Yeah, for
just
the
so
vertical
the
line.
capstone remains pinned. So even though it's like archvenison probably won't miss it, it's still a decent move.
Yeah, I would have expected f2 to come before a2, actually. Because it'd be in response to that wall placed, going for the vertical again, and then you can play a2 afterwards and shift gears. Kind of switch focus
Okay.
back.
Hear me out. Place a wall at c4 as black. You've already got 3.
No.
One
no.
more can't hurt you. You're blocking that throw,
No, you play
and
at
you're
b1
threatening
here.
the stack on c5.
No,
As black, you play at b1. And I'll tell you why. You play at b1 because when white plays at f2, you bring the d3 wall down, and now you've got a horizontal attack threat.
Yeah, that is probably the best. I sound disappointed because I want to see archvenison play d3 left, threaten c5.
Okay, but if you're going to play d3 left, why not just place a wall at c4? Okay, this is
It's
how
more
we
fun.
kind of predicted it.
And
Or
now
at least
this is
Simon
where
did.
the wall comes down onto d2. That wall's got to
This
do
makes sense.
something because it's just been sitting there blocking himself this whole time. We see Mediocre Tiborlin and Pluto the Brave in the chat both saying they like d3 minus here.
Yeah, that definitely seems like the move for this turn. So white
What's,
probably fills in at d3 with a wall or something.
White can afford it.
Yeah.
I think, seeing as how well the wall there prevented white or black's capstone from moving, maybe Alion recognizes the value of that wall, not just as a road blocking piece, but also like a capstone movement restriction.
Yep, does drop the wall
Yeah,
there.
and there it goes.
See, and now Alion's like, he's down below a minute on the clock still, but the position is it's calmed down a lot, right? It's not super complicated that like every move you could be missing three
Yeah.
different roads.
He can hang on for
It's a
another 8
much more
turns.
position that like you could analyze this in 15 seconds per move.
I mean, you
I
could.
want to see f3 plus followed by if black got 2 free moves, e3 plus followed by e3 plus. So first move the flat up, then smash your own wall.
Do you want to
Get the
play c4 first?
No, there's no time.
White's also up by 3 flats, which is a pretty
Yeah.
big flat count differential
Is that
at this
counting the
level of
komi?
play. That is counting the komi. Because it's 8 to 13, 10 to 13 with the komi. I
Go
like that
first.
move. I like c4 because he can go for like e5 at some point.
Or if you eventually smash on e4,
Yep.
it's also a threat
I
to
was thinking the
throw
same thing
upwards.
because it's a
Yeah,
threat
why
in
not
2
now
directions.
f3 plus? Or okay, he plays b4 instead, also fine. But f3 plus, your idea there is still not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen does have to respect it. Can't just pretend it's not there.
I guess white will take the d3 wall and move left, probably. And that
I think I expect d1 left because it
d1
also
left.
helps you work for your vertical on the left side.
Oh, that's fun. That's tricky.
I
Yeah, that doesn't make
think
sense.
Arch is aiming to make a flat capture on b5, I think.
He
Maybe.
loses that flat
Or
war, the capture war there.
It definitely makes things complicated.
Yeah.
like a capture, recapture, wall, spread. You already have 2 walls there, so it's probably going to be a spread left, and then you can just recapture what's there. Okay,
Big
f3
attack
plus
threat from
happens.
black. Black making the threat. White can come left with that d1, like you said, which wouldn't be making a attack threat here because He's got no connection in the vertical yet. But if he does get that connection, like with a b5 left or 2b5 left later, he can do that.
Then black can smash on e4 because it's not a threat anymore.
Yeah.
10 seconds for Alien.
Oh, he's really low on time. This is problematic. Oh my
Or
goodness, that was
3.
so
Oh,
close.
another 3 seconds.
That was so close. I mean, he may just throw this and smash on c3. Because then he's threatening the stack on c5 with his capstone.
Okay, that's exactly what he needs to do. You're totally right. Forget anything I was thinking of.
Yeah, smash c3,
That's
then you're threatening
smashing-
c5.
Because we've been talking the whole game about how black needs to get the capstone back in the game, and that's the immediate way to do that.
Yeah. But also smashing upwards is tempting, but not. I think smashing left is definitely the better move here.
Yeah.
Such a central capstone. Yeah.
And he goes for it. Alion with 15
does Alion do
seconds
here?
left to solve this position.
Probably 3
Alion
c6 minus.
plays at e3.
Like the capstone.
Oh, he didn't play.
Oh, f3.
No, he needed to play at e3
Why e3?
Why?
to stop black from spreading up to c5.
Oh, to pin the stone. You're
Yeah.
right. Pin the capstone.
But now black's free to go up and grab that, and I don't know what f3 does.
Maybe misclick.
It may have been a misclick. He may have been wanting to place at e3. Black goes for it.
Okay.
Either way, they're playing it.
15 seconds on the clock.
Oh my
What happens
goodness.
now?
It's a game now. Oh,
He makes the threat.
This is very
Black-
dangerous.
place
Black
at
can
C3?
place at
Oh, that's
C3
so
now.
scary. That's so scary.
Placing at c3 does work, and
Well, I
he's got
think
the
it's the
double
move.
stack on c4.
Yeah, c3. Eventually, if you get a vertical anchor, then you can spread the capstone right for
Mhm.
a road over d5, e5,
Yeah.
and f5.
I say play at c3,
Like-
just drop a flat.
I mean,
You've got
You-
two walls there that can interrupt if you run into trouble with the capture war, but you've got the double stack on c4.
honestly, just play C3 just to put the time pressure on Alion. I was about to disagree
too.
and say we should play something else, but it's not a bad move.
But d1 left. d1 left comes with attack, but then what? b1 right? Oh wait, there's no way to connect the vertical.
SE5. This is almost a board fill too. Don't forget
You
that.
you a5 right here as black.
Hmm.
Or b4 plus. That works the same thing.
That's
'Cause you're
attack.
making the vertical threat here.
d1 left, only reasonable.
It would be, because it would also be making attack threat at the same time as stopping that. But then you've also got b1 right that just
Yeah,
renews
so
it.
it's useless also.
Also, if they go okay, that's
Yeah.
attack. I think white should go 5e4 minus, make attack threat. Sorry, 4e4 minus.
You were gonna see 2d2 left.
Okay, more time.
Oh yeah, he's got 15 minutes now. He waited it out. He got his 15 minutes.
But
Woo,
this
that
is
was-
not a nice position. I think there will be a lot of concessions that Alien needs to make.
Yeah,
Wow.
because black has come back in the game. That low time period for Alion for those 7-8 moves, it was very, very tricky and lost a lot of ground there.
You know,
think it
personally,
also-
I don't know if I like this format of like giving people 15 more minutes time on move 35, but I will say if there was ever a game where you need 15 minutes more on move 35, it's this game.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that Alion is playing with that in mind here.
Oh, definitely. What were you going to say,
Looking back, I think the critical move was 31 d3 left, allowing the smash for black to activate its capstone. I think set white a bit behind. I don't know whether it's like losing. I don't know how much of white will have to concede to stop this threat. But I think it set white back a bit. I think the better move there would have been d1 left, which was
Yeah.
played. Somewhat tough, like capturing onto c3 is useless because there's both the wall stack on c2 and also the double flat stack on c4. d1 left is also a bit useless for the same reason because of the wall stack on c2. The only other way to stop the road is by capturing down to on the b5.
So at the start
And
of the
then
game, oh, go ahead, finish.
yeah, and then black plays maybe a5 right or moves the capstone stack left, which okay enables the white stack to move downwards and actually make a road. So never mind. Yeah, okay, so maybe a5 right, and then a wall on b6 for white, and then black spreads downwards, getting a bunch of flat count. I don't know what the result of this is, but I'm not so certain that it's better for white anymore.
No,
Yeah, it's
I would
funny.
definitely say black is in a better position here than white is.
It's funny how at the start of the game we were talking about, like, oh, white is super winning here, but you just got to think, how can black possibly get better in this game? And now we're doing the same thing for white.
Yes.
That's why I always say a game of
Although
tag is never over until the game is actually over, because you can always come back.
Although,
And
don't forget, white has what, 4 reserves left?
yeah,
okay,
So,
maybe it's over.
so it's actually not that bad for white. Are they still up on flats?
I think so.
I think white is still up on flats and
yeah.
4 reserves left. So actually, I think it's black has
It's
to prove
12 to
that they can win
15,
here.
15 being white.
Yeah, I think I actually missed that it's not tack. I don't know, for some reason I thought it was tack already.
It really felt like tack.
But then there is one more turn, so yeah. Yeah, but how much can you do with this?
So I think one thing you could do with this is take your c4 stack and move it down. And you're
Making a
thinking,
zero move?
why? Well, then you can
Well, it
spread
is
to the
tack.
right or left. You can make your tack threat. You can protect it with your wall that's right there on c2. And it's even if you don't get to make that tack threat, you're going to be able to recover flats and get yourself back up in FCD. I think bringing
That
two
is
c4 minus is a crazy move to make, but I think that it's actually the right one here.
that is
No,
genuinely an absurd move.
it's
Yes,
a
thank you. I
-1
appreciate
move.
that.
It's a
Uh,
-1 move. Why wouldn't white just like place a wall?
where do you
Or
place the wall?
Yeah,
Because
I
because
don't know.
black will make a +2 minus a +5 move if white just places a
I
wall
need to
there.
I need to count. Okay, hold on. It's
And actually, white can't place a wall because it's tack, so
it's
you
yeah, because
lose.
it's a
10
tack
plus
threat.
it's 15 for white and
10,
4 plus 4 plus 2, 10 plus 2, 12
12.
for black. So it's currently +2 for white.
Okay, if he doesn't play that move, which archvenison is perfectly within his rights to not play that move. It's a crazy move, but if he doesn't play it, I think we should go back after the game and see what that was, because that's crazy.
It's
I
a
mean, I can start a
very
Willem,
interesting move.
but Willem won't ever play that move
Willem would never
Yeah.
play that move,
Okay,
but I'd
what you
love
need
to
to
see
do
what
is,
Willem thinks of it if they're forced to play it.
after it's played. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll do that now.
yeah,
It's
go ask your friend. He's
Go
smart.
ask your robotic friend.
It would be nice if there was a way to copy the BTNs or TPS straight from playtech.
Yeah. I have a little bookmarky thing that I can click and it'll bring up the current game in PTN Ninja.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it makes it really good for. I used to do that a lot when I was commentating games. I'd bring up the PTN really quick by hitting the little bookmark button.
I mean, like looking at this move a bit more, like 2c4 minus, then white probably brings the wall up onto b5. Then you make that enormous flat count move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a
Still
move
good
for
move.
sure. I mean, then white probably places a wall at d2 or something.
Tries to recover
I
those
don't even
flats.
want to try to go into all these calculations because it's probably not too exciting to hear.
Yeah,
Just
it would be a very very messy end game for sure. And if there were time troubles, that would be the time to make a move like that.
you know what we need? We need Abyss.
Abyss. I had Abyss on yesterday. He helped with the game with Pluto the Brave and Climace. And yeah, he is very much a not so much a road maker as a flat winner.
I just remember that one video that Abyss made where he's like going into an hour-long detail about one crazy endgame position,
Yes, yes, that is true.
and I think this is what we need here. That's the energy we need.
I mean, they have 10 minutes to think about this. So why not? What are the other candidates though? Like 2 B5 plus. It's a bit boring, but that's the first thing I see.
Uh,
Um,
I think maybe
placing
3e4 minus.
E2, 3. Sorry, what did you say?
4e4 minus.
Or okay,
The reason is because
stops
you cut
attack
off the
bit.
horizontal, and so after white jumps up onto b5, you can smash that without feeling bad.
Yes. Okay. No, actually, no, you can't because the smashing that will leave white flat on c3, so then d2 comes with a road,
Yep.
even if you stop it by moving
d2.
down. So just let's recount what the moves actually would be for the audience.
So
4e4
4e4
minus, yeah, moving the wall down.
then
Then b4 plus to stop the threat,
right, and
moving
then
the wall up.
He did it. He did the
c5
move.
smashes b4. Oh, he did it.
He
Okay,
did the
forget it.
move.
Forget
Yeah,
it. He did
and
it.
smashing, and then d2. Yeah, it was okay. He did it.
He
Now
did the. I'm so excited for this.
before the move was played, are you curious about the Willem evaluation? Should I
Yes,
keep it
yes.
secret?
Oh, well, maybe. What do you think, Simon?
Does
I
it ruin?
Willem is gonna say that that is a terrible move to play and never play it. Let's go ahead and hear
I'll
what
keep
Willem
it
says
secret.
about it. Oh, you're gonna
Oh,
keep it secret?
okay.
Okay, we'll talk about it after the game.
Yes, I think after the game,
Okay, okay.
So
just to not ruin the
I
spectator
think we're gonna get
experience.
B3 capturing onto to C3 here.
Yeah, that's a move in the game of tack.
Or D3 capturing onto C3. D3 left, I think, is a stronger move.
But then the wall comes up.
Then the wall comes up. Yeah.
And it's not tack, but it feels pretty good. Although, man, black is even further down on flat
So
count now.
it can be tack if you take 4C2 plus 1, 3.
Oh, you're right. Gosh, what the heck? What the heck?
Then if you do that, though, white will drop a wall on D3.
Definitely.
Overall,
maybe the
this is a
move is to
really
go
fun
down with the
position. I'm just
capstone?
so glad that he played that move, that fun move that I was thinking of.
I think if white flat captures, then the move is to go down with the capstone and just start grinding out the flat count. Also, I'm also super glad he played that. That's super cool.
It's a fun move.
It's really difficult to find what the right response for white would be. Like, do you
I think D3 left
try
is the
to
right response.
capture onto C3? Do you
Oh,
capture
he goes for that
upwards?
move.
B4 plus. What was our idea here? Just spread right?
Yeah. I mean, it still
And that's
is
probably the
a
best
good
move.
move.
I think white probably made the best move, unsurprisingly. But also black gets what they wanted. They get what they asked for, which is lots of flats.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wild.
Okay, wait. Do you play it immediately?
That's what I'm thinking right now. Is like, do you want to like spread your capstone down there or something first, or do you want to like, what do you want to do here?
I think maybe play D2 first.
Or
Two
B,
reasons.
or B2.
One, because the spread right will come with. It has to be D2. Or for my idea, because if he plays D2, if you don't do it, then white could place a wall there, which is just bad news for you. And
Yeah.
also, it means the spread right would come with tack.
Yeah. Good point.
But maybe I don't know. If we place D2, it's like giving away this golden opportunity.
I mean, what is the threat of delaying? Like,
Yeah, you're right.
if you delay, they maybe capture onto C3, but that's what the wall stack is there for.
Yeah, that's what we
That's
want
what the
anyway.
capstone stack is there for.
But this is where I think
So
white's going to drop a wall at D2.
yeah, which is what I was afraid of. Yeah, Pluto the Brave in the chat points out that the capstone is no longer pinned, so
Oh,
black's
yeah.
capstone
So if
can
the wall
smash.
does
They can.
drop on D2, black can smash that C2 wall.
But that kind of frees the white capstone, don't you think?
Yeah, except that's attack threat.
So, yeah, gosh.
And a good one.
Certainly ain't not attack threat.
I like it. That's fun. That's a fun idea.
Okay, well, your fun moves have gotten us into this situation. Maybe they can get us out of this situation.
You clearly haven't seen any of my tournament games.
Spoilers.
I mean, you're down to 4 flats as white.
Right. How many does black have?
More.
Something like 9.
Yeah, you are at 12 versus 12. Is that correct? So 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 2. Yeah. So 12 against 12. You have.
Right. Okay.
Oh. Okay, what I was saying is it's 12 against 12. White is down to only 4 flats. So you could go down to 2 flats, make a move like 2b5 left, place, and win. Assuming black cannot make any threats, but okay, that's a bad assumption in this position.
Yeah, I guess placing that wall at d2 is good, but it does go down 1 in flat count. But it will soon go up, 3 or even more.
Yes, but that also requires you to make moves which are not placements. So maybe you
Right.
don't want to do that. But in this case, I don't think it's. I think it's worth it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, wall d2.
Do you
Will we see
smash?
the smash? Oh, that's bad for flat count though.
Yeah, and it's down to 3 reserves for white. So it's also attack for that can be easily stopped because you can just spread the white wall or the white flat that will be on c3 to the right.
Yeah, okay, so maybe black plays. I'm just thinking what happens if there's like black plays c3, white moves the wall up, black. Uh, no, okay, that
Question mark,
doesn't work.
question mark.
Question mark, question mark, dot, dot, dot.
Yeah, white spreads right, like 2 d3 right, then another question mark, then maybe I think at that point white is up. So just places. Black has to come up with some flat count. White places again. Black has to do something and then white wins.
Hey,
So
guess 284 in the chat says crush.
They're clearly listening to us.
They've been redeemed.
is it not Alien then? Or maybe Alien is trying to very subtly incentivize archvenison, who is also cheating by being in the chat. Crush. I don't actually hear Simon. Do you hear him?
I don't. I thought maybe he was being quiet. Simon, are you still there?
Oh no. We've lost him.
My I know
I
what's
wonder
wrong.
whether the stream can hear us.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're just talking to each
Oh,
other.
I had a different microphone on. But the stream could hear me.
okay. Could they hear us?
Yeah, they could hear you fine.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, that's what's important, right?
I was being
Yes,
quiet anyway. Oh, he didn't smash, but he is coming down and making the threat. This is actually I like this variant here. Will we see the wall come up, or will we see something like a wall at b2? Wall does come up. And if he does smash, white's going to be running up with that stack to make up some flat count.
Yeah, black is starting to use up their is starting to use up their positive flat count differential moves, and white is just sort of patiently waiting for them all to be used up, and then they'll strike. Oh, he goes for the smash though. I mean, at this point in this crazy game, like you can't not go for the smash.
For sure. Smash is love, smash is life.
As they say.
I don't know who is they, but I agree with them.
This is threatening a pretty solid threat in like one turn for black, I mean. Because moving
Yeah.
d3 right. I mean, sorry, it's 2d3 left.
I was even looking at I assume that the C3 stack is moving here. If the C3 stack moves up, what if, and I didn't even look beyond this move to see if it was any good. What if white or black does 4d3 left 1 1 2?
I think you're going to have to explain that one.
Now? Or when do you feel like this move is playable?
After white does 2c3 plus 1 1. You know what's a funnier move? Ooh. What if white just smashes c2 right now?
Doesn't that lose?
It doesn't lose.
Hold on.
It doesn't lose.
I will say it does not immediately lose.
Oh, you would need to keep. Hold on. You
It's
need to
such
make
a
sure that
bad
there's
move.
only 2 black flats on c4.
Yeah, there are. It is such a bad move though, but it doesn't immediately
Yeah,
lose,
that's
which
pretty
means
bad.
that it's a viable move in my head.
Another thought. Sorry, not to like belittle that, excellent thought.
Absolutely belittled it.
But another thought would be after this 2c3 plus 1/1, which is happening, black can move the wall up, like 4c2 plus 1/3. That's a threat, and steal some flats.
I like that move best. It's the smartest move there, for sure.
I mean, I don't even think the smash was all that bad for white because white is so far ahead on reserves. Well, what if... Is this a threat for white? It's not. So
No.
black can just place d2 or something.
Yeah, totally can.
After which we would see
Clearly white smashing
a2
c2.
minus. a2 minus maybe, or
I mean, smashing on c2 would defend the threat.
no. I mean, yes, it would defend it, but no, but don't.
But maybe.
Yeah, 4c2 plus 1/3 feels like the right move here. White is ahead by I think 4 flats or three or 4 flats, and so that would be a +2 move with an opportunity to make a following +2 move, which would really get him back in the game a little bit more in terms of flats. White has one +2 move available, and black has, after those wall moves, would have one more +2 move available. Hmm.
And we're getting back down into that slightly lower time region for the second time in this game.
Yeah, both down
It's
to
been
5
five
minutes.
more moves. It's been 5 more moves since move 35, and we've used up 10 minutes each player.
Yeah, in 5 moves. Yeah, it's been a pretty complicated position though, so I understand that.
I mean, I think they're probably right to use that time.
I mean, the
I would
time is
still
no
be at
use to
25
you
minutes here, but you know.
once you're over. Once the game is over, the time on the clock doesn't help you in any way.
I
That's right.
disagree with that. It keeps me warm at night.
It's the time you save to do other things in your life.
Exactly. There comes to a point when I'm playing a attack game where I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. It's lasting too long. And so in the sevens open, I think I had a match with alion02 that lasted an hour and a half, and I'm like, I can't do that anymore. I can't do an hour and a half. Hour is pretty much my tops moment. I can't move on past an hour. And this game so far has been an hour and 15 minutes.
Wow. I mean, these two are still very committed to it, I think.
I definitely agree.
And actually, I've decided that 4c2 plus 1/3 is not the move anymore. I think you have to place d2. Oh, he plays it though. Sorry, archvenison.
Oh,
Yeah, the reason I
immediately
didn't like it
c2?
is because of that. White can place a flat to stop it.
And now we're on the magic 2 reserve count, where at any point, if white is up, place once. If black doesn't have a move to immediately recover, you just win. The
Right.
next move.
Yeah.
So
Black makes the what, the 4c4 plus move here?
Or maybe
It's
place d2 for
currently-
attack.
Or
I think you want to maximize your reserve or your FCD, right? So maybe
yeah,
even
you want
move
to
the
maximize
capstone
FCD.
down.
So you could
But I
also
mean, the
do
only way you ever win is if you run out of reserves, right? So I think, well,
you also do
yeah, could go
4d3
either way.
minus 2/2 is another one where it's attack threat and you're making a +2 move. And you could wait until white's down to
But
one
then
flat
there's
for
wall
that.
d3.
Yeah, and so what you do is you make the move first, get white down to one flat, and then you make that move.
I don't think you want to ever go down to one reserve unless you know you're going to win on your next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Although after
Because
4d3 minus 2/2, there's something like e1 with tack.
eh,
I think you might be right though, Will.
so here it's
I'm seeing
I don't know,
4c4
hard to
plus.
count.
4c4 plus, I feel like, is the move here.
Or
It's
even
14 for white, right? And then it's 6 plus 4, so 12 with the added komi for
Yeah, it's
black.
12 to 14 with white in the
So
lead.
+2 currently after black makes a move like how many is it? 4 c4 plus.
Yeah, that'll bring it
It'll
to
be
even.
even.
I also like
Then
the c3 minus.
Oh, I don't know about that
that's the
move.
same.
Well, but that gives white a
It's
different
identical.
opportunity to make a +2 move with their b5 stack.
But it's the same, I think, regardless of which direction you go with the b5 stack.
Maybe he moved that way instead of up to keep the capstone from smashing it?
Maybe, although I think that would be a very different universe where Alien smashes on c5 at this point in the game. Okay. So now it's even, right? Black has one move to get FCD, which is 4d3 minus 2/2, which also comes with attack threat.
Oh,
And that would be a +2 move, right? So if
yeah.
white just makes a placement, then +2 makes it so that if you place, you draw, right? So that's white can guarantee at least a draw. And you also
So
have
white places b2 with tack.
then I'm saying 4d3 minus 2/2, and if you place, it's a draw.
Okay.
Instead, you could move the white or like do something like 2b5 left, which is a +2. Then black makes a +2,
Well, but it was attack
but you
threat.
cannot. Oh, is this attack threat? Oh,
This
right.
is now. And so now we see the 4d3 minus 2/2.
Which is attack threat for black.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why I was saying not to place now, but instead make the movement left so you aren't on one reserve, because now you cannot defend by placing.
Yeah.
You'll have to
Oh,
capture.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so this was
But I
this
guess
was the
it's
wrong move here, I think.
I think it's still fine
It might still
because
work if he calculated it out.
you can do something like 8-2 minus to stop it. And then black doesn't have enough time to recover that, and
That's
you can just
true.
make your
Then white can
2b5
make the
left and
b5
then
move and
place.
then place a flat and win. I would say this is like a Galet for white then.
Well, but if a2 minus, then b1 left, and now black has a plus FCD move.
But then you just drop a flat. Right?
But that's a tie, a draw.
Ooh.
Oh, wait.
Now
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 b1 left,
2b5
only move.
left. So black's gonna do 2b or white's gonna do 2b5 left.
Oh, it's black to move right now.
Yeah,
but-
black will capture there. Now we see 2b5 left.
And then a1 spreads up, only move to not lose.
And then I don't know.
Because it's
Placing
13-12
is
right now in favor of black.
And then probably white just fights the stack war until they can get a spread.
there a stack where they can win immediately?
Good
No,
question.
I think they would have to start moving their wall around. I think they should have. Alien should have stayed at 2 flats because now you can't place a wall ever.
Yeah, this is
So you
actually
have to
looking
move
good
your
for
existing
black.
walls. I think white has at least a draw, but you will have to work to win as white.
Yeah, because white can make a +2 move here to put themselves one ahead. Black makes a +2 move to put themselves one ahead. White can play the final flat to draw, or try and push this out and go for a win.
Well, I guess there's no reason for white not to at least try for a win, and then
Yeah.
if it ever gets scary, just play the flat and draw.
I think a plan that could work is e5 right, spreading down, and then to the left.
Yeah, that does work. Long term.
Okay, but if e5 right, then black can play like 4e4, right?
4
4e4 right,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
To stop it, because they're both making a self-capture, and that makes it so white gets just a +2 move to come back from it.
But then
Yeah.
black
And
would
then
need
black
a
gets a
+2
+2
move.
move. Like, yeah.
But then white could probably get a plus. Oh gosh, yeah.
And they can go back. Like, let's say.
This is a
So it started
point
e5
that
e5
Willem
right.
needs to
Then
look at.
I can run it. Okay.
I think
If you're
Willem would be
curious at
very.
this point,
Willem would just tell us
I mean, Willem will probably just say white is weak. I mean,
probably.
it's if you look at the reserves, it's probably white who's winning, if anyone.
Comes down. He makes the flat count move. Black makes the flat count move.
One minute on the clock for both players.
I mean, if at any point Alion is feeling like it's going to turn bad, he can just place to draw. So there's no threat or there's no worry for Alion. I think he's going to be.
I mean,
Bit
if I'm
relaxed.
Alion, I don't feel. If I'm archvenison, I don't feel too bad about a draw.
True.
He does it though. E5 right.
Yep, does make the move.
Will archvenison then play
Oh,
5e4 right? 4e4 right? I don't even know if I like that move.
It's on the board.
I'm getting server unresponsive.
Okay,
Oh.
you can relay the moves.
But
It's
he
on the
did the
board.
thing.
And
It's working. It's working.
And
two
then he
f5
spreads
left
left.
and 1.
He made it. He made those two moves exactly as we said.
We'll paint the picture for you, Simon.
I can see it. I can see it. We're good. Yeah, he made
Okay,
those
so
two
the
moves
f4
exactly.
stack goes up. Because this is... I mean, it's not attack threat. Sorry. Black... never mind. I was going to say white could make attack threat with, like, d5 minus, 2d5 minus, but it's not actually relevant.
Yeah, I think you got to do the wall stack up to f6, right?
Yeah, I think that's only move. Otherwise, white wins on flats right now.
Okay, I got Willem up to the point just before e5 right. I want to let it sit here to see whether it comes up with the same idea. Okay, this happened.
If white throws the d5 right to f5, black captures up onto e6. White spreads that f5 down to f3 and then left to e3 and then comes out on top on flats and then is able to play the last one for the win.
That's disgusting.
Yep.
What? What?
2d5 right, 1-1.
And then that's followed by it's followed by oh wait, no, that wouldn't be a double stack. Yeah, that
20
I think
seconds
that
left.
works.
Pluto the Brave likes it, but he doesn't play it
He comes down.
with a different self-capture.
Yeah, and that's threatening the big stack on a3.
Can black make any attack threats soon enough?
Yet?
That's not one.
Now, do you capture? Okay, I was going to say, do you take the whole stack and move it left, or just this?
Yeah, just that. And you can spread down.
Okay, now like d3 for attack, but that might be game over. White just has a massive spread here to get to even
Yeah,
f3.
you're right. Galen is just counting, which is better. Than
Yeah, I mean, he's got 25 seconds. He can count.
plenty. Plenty.
It's.
He goes down, not right. Maybe it still works.
I was expecting the down, to be honest. So he's got 12 to 11. So unless black can make a +2 move here, and he can't, white can play the final flat and win.
The only way it could work would be... Wait, Pluto the Brave says black can draw?
There you go, white
There we
wins.
go.
No, okay, it doesn't work.
That was good. Great.
If any move worked, it would have to be a5 right, just to get an extra like plus FCD move. But there
Yeah.
was no move. That's game over.
That
Wow.
was a great game. Great game.
Yeah. I think the opening went much better for white. But then, after some questionable moves by Alion, and especially allowing the smash on c3 around move 30, let Arch really show his strength in the endgame.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, playing from a probably worse position, going all the way to like an endgame you really have to calculate. And then we saw some creativity by both players to try to get flat count back.
Yeah, what
Quite fun.
What was that? What did Willem say about that move, the 2c4 minus move earlier?
Okay, so before the move, it was saying plus 0.7, so it's like winning for white.
Yeah.
The move is not on its radar. After I made the move on the analysis board, it's saying, or it said, hold on, plus 0.77, so it went up. Yeah, so essentially, Willem was unfazed, just winning for white, even after the move, winning for white. Apparently, the best response, or the Willem response would have been b4 plus, which is just it was just ignoring the threat and just capturing up with the wall. Is that what he saw in the game? Yes, it is exactly what he saw.
Cool.
Willem
All right.
has no heart.
Well, it was a lot of fun. That was a fun game to watch for sure, and it was great play. Like, I am. This is quarterfinals. I mean, if this is the kind of game we're gonna see in quarterfinals, I can't wait to see the semis and the finals, right? So that was just awesome. So great play from both players, and thank you guys for joining me in the commentary booth, even with all the technical difficulties we've had.
Yeah, thank you. It was really fun.
All right, and that is all for today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the description below for all things TAC, especially the TAC Discord server, which is where you can find all sorts of TAC resources like strategy guides and people to play with, whether that be right here on playtac.com or asynchronously through the Discord server itself. You can find all sorts of great resources. and great people to talk with about tack and about other things like that. So, thanks again for watching, and until next time, have a great day and happy tacking.